Ever since the battle update dropped, Prodigy PvP has been flipped on its head, but one of the only things that has remained the same is how important pets are. You need the right pet combo to be able to win your game, so without further ado, I'll show you how to make the best pet combo in Prodigy. The first thing you want to be looking at is your pet's stats. Actually, scratch that. The only stat you should really be paying attention to is health. Power and defense barely even matter, and speed can make a difference, but it's not worth too much attention. Health is so much more important than the rest because spells are so unpredictable in PvP, and having a lot of health means that you don't run the risk of getting one-shotted. For example, Flanger only has 570, so he can easily be two-shotted by a few decent spells. I'd say the bare minimum amount of health that a pet should have is about 650, since they aren't very easy to quickly take out. Quick editor's note, 650 is the minimum amount of health that a pet should have when scaled to level 100, and you can easily find that scaling in the Prodigy wiki when looking at a pet's max health in their stat box. Anyway, back to the video. With that in mind, let's move on to the next criteria, which is your pet's spells. This is the most important part of this video, because if your pets have bad spells, trust me, you will lose. I highly recommend visiting the Prodigy wiki when checking your pet's spells, because it quickly shows you all the spells that a pet has. There are a ton of factors that go into your pet's spells, but I've narrowed it down to two things that you want to look for. The first one is how many reliable spells your pet has. A reliable spell is a single that does at least 3.5 bars of damage and has excellent aim. You're going to want a pet that has at least 2 reliable spells like Pterosaur or Gloricious. The second thing you want to look for is your pet's spell cycle, which is how many rounds they can last while having at least one reliable spell in hand. Let me explain. Let's take a look at Shivertusk, who has 2 reliable spells, Skewer and Smash. If you play Skewer in the first round, then Smash in the second, and then Skewer again in the third round, you can last a maximum of 3 rounds while having at least one of his reliable spells in hand. This means that Shivertusk has a 3 spell cycle, which happens to be the shortest spell cycle that your pets should have. Moving on from spells, the final criteria is your pet's elemental synergy.
What?
Which basically means that you want one of your pets to counter your other pet's weakness. For example, let's say you want to use Palm Prickle, because he's got a ton of health, a lot of reliable spells, and a really good spell cycle. The problem is that his element, Plant, is really weak against ice, so if you match up against an ice pet, you're gonna be screwed. However, ice is weak to fire, so if you bring in a fire pet like Igneos, he'll be able to counter your Palm Prickle's weakness, and boom, elemental synergy. You can even take this a step further by giving your wizard a Storm Relic or a Storm Wand, since Storm counters Igneos' weakness of water, but this isn't really necessary, and you'll still see a lot of success even if you don't do it. And that'll be it for the video. To recap, the best pets are the ones that have at least 650 HP at level 100, 2 reliable spells, a 3 spell cycle, and good elemental synergy with one another. Once you have those 4 things down, you're ready to begin your search for the best pet combo in Prodigy. As always, be sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and if there are any tips that you'd like to share about how you choose your pet combo, be sure to leave them in the comment section down below. But with that, I'll see you guys next time.